There is hope. There is a way to get through the unseen battles that largely take place within us. Believe that you are enough. If you were told that you would inevitably be sent to war at some point in time, what would you need to prepare for it? A few quick answers would be tools and weapons to use in battle, armor to protect yourself, and bandages to help heal any wounds. Although your body doesn't process physical pain in the same way that it heals emotional pain, the neurological pathways have substantial overlaps. This means that emotional pain is real pain. Emotional health is defined as the ability someone has to manage thoughts, feelings, and emotions throughout life. Lots of different experiences and thought patterns can trigger emotional health issues. Of course, if you lose someone that you love, are subjected to abuse, go through a major life change, or even tend to compare yourself to others, you will inevitably need to know how to manage your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Today, I want to share 10 ways that you can prepare yourself and others for emotional health battles. These are not in any particular order. Number 1, find ways to get to know and connect with yourself. Finding activities that make you feel comfortable and like your authentic self can be a rock during a hard time. Try out different hobbies and activities to see which ones you identify with and enjoy. Activities that involve creativity can be especially helpful. They allow you to feel in control of what is going on in your life. Activities could be, but are not limited to, drawing, writing, gardening, dancing, reading, cooking, baking, and exercising. As you may or may not already know, you are your own biggest critic. God and those who truly love you care much more about who you're becoming than who you were. Remind yourself frequently that you are enough right now. Number 2, spend time serving others. When you find a way to help those around you in a meaningful way, you are able to set your own struggles and challenges aside for a moment. You are able to focus on someone else's needs rather than your own. Service opportunities do not have to take up a lot of time or energy. A few examples include calling a family member, dropping off a gift at a friend's house, or volunteering in your local women's shelter. Serving others allows you to realize that you are not alone in this world. It can boost your self-esteem, boost your mood, improve the quality of your social life, and make you feel capable and useful. You will realize that you are wanted, needed, and valued. You have unique skills that can play a significant part in the lives of others. Helping others triggers our brain in many positive ways. In an article called The Neurology of Helping Others, it states that when we help others, our brain releases oxytocin, serotonin, and dopamine. These hormones have the effect of boosting our mood and counteract the effect of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. Number 3, learn more about emotional health through books, YouTube videos, and podcasts. In my own life, I have noticed that emotional health challenges are not talked about enough. I was very ill-equipped to battle the emotional health issues I had in junior high, high school, college, and as a young mother. From my own experience and observations, people usually have the immediate response of suppressing and burying their feelings rather than recognizing emotions, expressing them, and regulating them. My world changed when I started picking up books about emotional health at the library, listening to a life coach on YouTube, and turning to a weekly podcast about regulating emotions. If you haven't found someone in your life to teach you how to express your emotions in a healthy way, you may have developed some unhealthy ways of managing and coping with your emotions. I have found great strength in the resources that are available to me in this technologically abundant world. Number 4, find someone you trust and that you can talk to on a regular basis. Brené Brown has said that vulnerability is not good or bad. It's not what we call a dark emotion, nor is it always a light, positive experience. Vulnerability is the core of all emotions and feelings. To feel is to be vulnerable. To believe vulnerability is weakness is to believe that feeling is weakness. To foreclose on our emotional life out of fear that the cost will be too high is to walk away from the very thing that gives purpose and meaning to life. Vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, accountability, and authenticity. If we want greater clarity in our purpose or deeper and more meaningful spiritual lives, vulnerability is the path. End of quote. I also love this quote from her. I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they can derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. End of quote. When you are able to have someone in your life that you can trust and talk to on a regular basis, in the best of times and in the worst of times, life becomes much easier. We are not meant to handle our thoughts, feelings, and emotions alone. Like Brene Brown said, being vulnerable and opening up to people is what gives meaning and purpose to life. Number 5, practice self-care every day. I've spent a lot of my life ignoring my own needs, trying to please others, and having a pretty empty emotional bucket. It is very hard to support and love others when your emotional bucket is empty. How can you fill up your emotional bucket? You can fill it up by serving others and by regularly taking care of yourself. Some of my favorite ways to take care of myself are meditation, taking a warm bath, spending time at the gym, cozying up and reading a book, writing in my journal, or even doing my nails. Self-care does not need to take a lot of time, money, or energy. The key is to do it regularly, which ideally would be for about 30 minutes a day. Self-care has been proven to boost your self-esteem, reduce stress and anxiety, and can lead to healthier relationships with others. Number 6, spend time outside daily. Being out in nature is very relaxing and enjoyable if the weather is decent. You realize that you are part of something bigger than yourself. You are part of something beautiful. When you breathe in the fresh air and feel the earth beneath your feet, you become grounded. It is easier to put things into perspective. I have found that I am more grateful for the life that I've been given when I spend time in nature regularly. Seeing the leaves blowing in the wind and feeling the warm sun on my face reminds me of how blessed I am to be alive and well today. Spending time in nature has been proven to decrease stress, increase your attention span, and to lower your heart rate and blood pressure. Number 7, make religion and mindfulness part of your life. I have found that being involved in my religion daily has aided in preparing me for emotional battles. It is comforting to know that there is a loving God that created me for a purpose. I am also comforted to know that Jesus has suffered all so that I can be forgiven. I know that I can rely on him during times of struggle and hardship. Regardless of what you believe, when times get tough, religious beliefs can give you the hope and help that you need to work through difficult emotions. I've also found mindfulness practices like meditation, affirmations, and breathing exercises to be super helpful. Even just taking 5 to 10 minutes every day to meditate and be present can change your life and regulate your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Number 8, talk to a doctor, counselor, or therapist. Emotional health is just as important as your physical health. If you felt sick and couldn't get out of bed, the first thing you would probably do is call a doctor who could give you medicine and instructions about how to get better. Sadly, most people who experience emotional health battles do not get the help that they need. They bottle up their emotions and suffer in silence. Don't wait until your thoughts, feelings, and emotions control you in order to find help. Doctors can prescribe medicine. Counselors and therapists can validate your emotions. They can also help you to process and regulate your emotions. When I went to counseling last year, I asked for help to find better coping mechanisms to manage my emotions. During my childhood, when emotions became too much for me to handle, I would repeat negative self-talk in my head, and then I would cry myself to sleep. I was tired of these self-destructive behaviors that continued on into my adult life. I wanted to get help. My counselor was able to give me helpful advice as well as some challenges for me so that I could transform my responses to my emotions from self-destructive behaviors to helpful and constructive behaviors. Number 9, get rid of anything in your home that is nagging you or telling you that you are not enough. Sometimes you are surrounded by so much physical clutter that you start to feel depressed or anxious. The practice of minimalism includes the idea that everything you own in your house is constantly sending you a message. For example, the dirty dishes might be saying, clean me. The laundry might be saying, put me away. The plants might be saying, water me. Those are just messages from daily tasks. But what about the clothes in your closet that are a size too small? You may keep them because you're hoping to lose 15 pounds, but what are they saying to you? They might be telling you you need to lose weight. You're not good enough as you are right now. What about the items from your ex-boyfriend that broke up with you last year? What could they be telling you? He doesn't love you anymore. No one will ever love you again. If there are any items in your home that trigger negative thoughts or emotions, donate them or throw them away. Number 10, be kind and patient with yourself. When I was in counseling, my counselor asked me why I was being so hard on myself. She asked me if I would say the negative things that I was telling myself to a close friend or family member. That caused me to pause and think. When was the last time that you told a friend or family member that you love them? When was the last time you told yourself that you loved yourself? That you're smart, that you're capable, that you're beautiful, that you're enough, that it's okay when you feel sad. Sometimes it's easier to love others more than you love yourself because you allow the emotion of shame to tell you that you're not enough. Like I said earlier, you are your biggest critic. When you mess up or fail, when you feel embarrassed or sad, accept yourself exactly where you are instead of beating yourself up. One way that I show self-love is by smiling at myself when I pass by in a mirror. I've noticed that it truly boosts my mood. It makes me feel happy. I realize that I am beautiful. I am able to remind myself that I am enough. In conclusion, I would like to read a quote by Brené Brown from her book called Braving the Wilderness. She said, "Stop walking through the world looking for confirmation that you don't belong. You will always find it because you've made that your mission. Stop scouring people's faces for evidence that you're not enough. You will always find it because you've made that your goal. True belonging and self-worth are not goods. We don't negotiate their value with the world. The truth about who we are lives in our hearts. Our call to courage is to protect our wild hearts against constant evaluation, especially our own. No one belongs here more than you." End of quote. We all are or will be subject to emotional health challenges at some point or another in our lives. For some, emotional battles are recurrent or chronic. Believe that you belong in this world. There is hope. There is a way to get through the unseen battles that largely take place within us. I just want to echo Brené Brown and what she said in that quote. Believe that you are enough. I promise that if you will prepare for mental health challenges, you will come out a conqueror, a warrior. You will be strong enough to weather any emotional storm. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Emotional Stability.